You are now listening to
Likely to Dispute,
hosted by Monkas, Reed, and Tyler.
How's everybody doing? It's Cevan, aka the Monkas. Joined with me today, as always, is Reed and Tyler, and this is episode 43 of Likely to Dispute.
We have a wonderful second to last episode of the Fine Dining regular season for you guys. It'll be a week 13 recap and a week 14 preview, which I always mess that up. And we're going to hand off to our host for today. Tyler, take us away.
Yeah, an ultimate regular season preview. So if it looks like you're missing the playoffs, really take this one in. It's going to be your last preview for the year, but that's all right. First, we'll start off with the Week 13 recap. Starting off here with one playoff spot attainee and Swerly, who is missing the playoffs. Sandy beat Swerly this week, about 155 to 125. AJ Brown was a menace on Thanksgiving, scoring 35 points, even though the Eagles did lose. Michael Pittman was a non-factor with the Colts. And then on the other side of things, with Swirly's team, CeeDee Lamb was pretty solid as well on Thanksgiving, scoring 24 points, and Zay Flowers scored 1.6 this week, including he also had a costly fumble against the Bengals. So this was, Swirly, I think we kind of buried last week, unfortunately, but this really helps Sandy in terms of playoff seeding. Reed, thoughts from you on this one?
Yeah, Sandy is looking like as you said about AJ Brown, a menace moving forward. AJ Brown put up the third highest score of his career, which is a notable career up until this point. So good to see him finally get back on track. For him, he's going to need that stack to play well as he moves into the playoffs here again. Sleeper will not show that it is a clinched playoff spot because Sleeper does not take into account the fact that the two 7-win teams are playing each other. So one of those two will miss the playoffs. But Sandy has clinched a playoff spot as well from this win. And yeah, he's someone that I think is in good shape moving forward. And he's not someone that I particularly want to see in the second round of the playoffs. He's got some weapons, but for Swerly, there's a mourning. You know, it's a damn shame this team is not going to be in the playoffs. He's got a really good team, but needless to say, he has run into some very high scoring opponents this year that have caused some very high scoring losses for him. But good news is he got a lot of draft capital this offseason to make up. Just kidding. He's got no draft capital this offseason, but another high scoring loss here for him. Rip Swerly. He's dead.
Just to that point, to kind of put a bow on it, fourth in points for this season, first in points allowed. So I understand maybe his team didn't always live up to the hype that, the whole league kind of thought it had. But at the same time, he did get just brutalized in weekly matchups a lot. His defense does not clamp, as Cevan would say. So, Cevan, thoughts from you on this one?
You guys touched on the matchup pretty well. I'm just going to throw out my Swerly fun fact of the day for you guys. Shout out Swerly if you're listening. But so for the 10 members that have been in the league for both years, Swerly is now officially the only person to never make the playoffs. The people that didn't make it last year that made it this year, Sumner and Trent, and our 1 seed, Robert. They all missed it last year, made it this year. Ian out this year, but made it last year. And Tyler and Schrader out this year, but made it last year. So shout out Swerly, 0-2 getting to the playoffs. There's always next year. Like Reed said, you have you got no draft capital. So going in with the same team, maybe make some moves, but start your mock drafting early, just like Tyler did.
All right, I want to point out here, Swerly's schedule this year. Here's the opposing score in all of his losses. Ready? 144, 126, 171, 165, 159, 154, 157, 155. Like, he was near Rob levels of his opponents just figuring shit out against him. Like, literally, he only had one loss this year where his opponent didn't score above the league average of about 131. So there's not much you can say that, he just didn't, he wasn't up to it. His opponents just were having spike weeks against him, and He nearly had to outscore a spike week every week to get a win, and we never really did see like a true spike week from him. Like his season high was a 166, which coincidentally, of course, was against Schrader, who dropped 85 points. So yeah, just a unlucky season from a lot of respects for Swerly here. Yeah, I'm sure we'll dig more into that later, probably in the off season, what went wrong there for him. But yeah, he's officially gone. I'll admit it. It's done.
All right, well, nice little eulogy there, summing up Swirly's season. Congrats to Sandy on the playoff spot. Let's keep it rolling. Next one is Schrader putting up 78 against Cam K, who finds himself fighting for a playoff spot despite selling off a few pieces there. On Schrader's side of things, Devin Singletary scored 19 points somehow, some way against the Patriots. And Jackson Dart scored 13.9 and taking a few rougher hits, might I add. K on the other side had James William put up his best career game, 26.9 points, and Tyrone Tracy left early due to injury. That was his dud. Cevan, we'll start with you. Thoughts on this one? And K is actually your opponent this week that you'll be facing on week 14, so maybe save those thoughts for the preview.
Yeah, I mean the week went about expected. We all picked K to win. He put up an average week 126. Um, secured Schrader the number one overall pick. Yeah, his team was fine. It's still showing the depth concern. I mean, I know we still are without Jaden. It looks like he's not going to play again, so that might be concern in a win-and-in game for him. But I mean, Christian Watson, he's actually been solid fantasy. He's been okay fantasy wise. He's been starting him at Superflex, but yeah, not too much. Nothing to write home about. I don't think K wants to be winning, but he unfortunately is in this position.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Not much to add on the Schrader side of things, just kind of more of the same of what we've seen all season. One player I wanted to bring up on K's team that I honestly didn't realize till now that he started was Devin Neal. Scored, I feel like with Alvin Kamara out, 9.9 points is just a little bit lowly against the Dolphins there, with a lot of those points just coming from just a lot of touches. So that was interesting. Just looking at his game log this week. Read any thoughts from you on this one?
Well, first off, I'd like to point out that 9 point whatever was above Alvin Kamara's season average. So,
Did not know that.
yeah, he's only averaging 9.3 points per game this year. But yeah, the one thing I want to talk about, well, the reason I put Jackson Dart as Schrader's dud was we did not see any of he had 0 designed runs this week, just 4 carries for 20 yards. I saw on Twitter it was his lowest scramble rate of the season as well. So I put him as the dud because I think that's obviously a concern for him that has been mentioned millions of times at this point is, can he stay healthy? Can he avoid concussions? What does that mean for the rest of his career? If they're going to dial back the running upside that Dart presents from a fantasy perspective, that is a serious dampening of what was looking like a nearly elite ceiling as we move forward into second year and beyond. So that's the reason I put him as the dud. But regardless, Schrader's still working from the Purdy and Dart standpoint where he's got 2 really good options there. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to add on K's team. He had an okay week and he beat the second worst team in the league.
I will push back on that a little bit and just say I think the whole Dart and running situation is a little bit overblown. I feel like people also had the same concern about Josh Allen, for a few
Josh
years.
Allen's never missed a game with injury in his career. Jackson Dart has like 4 concussions already.
That is true. But
he almost missed a game like 2 weeks ago when he was screaming on the ground in pain and then he missed 0 plays. So
I do remember that. I was just gonna say I more so felt like only 4 runs last night and no designed runs was just kind of a product of facing a good defense and it being his first week back from concussion. So I don't.
So you're
I
saying
see
they
what you're
reduced
saying.
his running because of injury concerns?
Just because he was just coming off one, not necessarily for. just because I'm saying I feel like the Patriots defense is good enough where that just was never the game plan.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe not.
1 week post concussion sample size, so still got
Yeah.
4 games left.
Yeah, no, I didn't say it will be. I said that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
dud if it continues for his future outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right. Very good. Moving on here. We have Reed beating up on Ian this week, scoring 168. Ian just above 110. I'll let Reed talk about his side of things in a second. I don't feel like I should even get to say his name first here. Ian Stud was Nico Collins, 21 and a half. Lamar Jackson has got people worried about what he's been doing the last few weeks. He only put up just above 10 points here. Reed, I won't say much more. How about you just tell us about your guy here?
Edie Mitchell, man, let me tell you what. If this doesn't throw egg in Tyler's face from his droppable preseason take, I don't know what will. One of the most vindicating moments of the season for me so far. Still many more to come, I hope. But yeah, no, that was amazing. That was a last second start. Texted the boys in the group chat and said, "Am I crazy for wanting to start him?" And Tyler backed me up. So shout out Tyler for believing, changing his opinion on a player in the offseason after he saw what a baller he was, and I respect that. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Jake Ferguson has been mediocre since CeeDee Lamb came back, and hopefully the rest of my team can make up for him being mediocre. Maybe I'll bring up Harold Fan. I don't know. But there's talks going on about the tight end room, so we'll see. But yeah, good to send Ian home packing. Felt good. The number one critique of the power rankings bot getting his ass handed to him by the power rankings bot creator. Karma.
There we go. Not to cop out too much here, but if I would have known AD Mitchell was going to get traded to a wide open Jets wide receiver room, I would have not had
That is
him
a
as
cop out.
droppable.
That is a
If
cop
he was
out.
still on the Colts right now, I would maintain my position.
So you're
But
saying a really good player should be dropped because
uh,
of a situation in a dynasty league?
I mean, if he was just eternally stuck in the Colts receiver room, whoops, then I would say yes.
That is a bad take. Cevan, back me up here.
Uh, my only input here is all 17 games played as a rookie, which was what formed Tyler's opinion. He had as many negative point games as he had double-digit point games. So
That was not the question that you were asked.
I can understand Tyler's side saying he was droppable. And then yeah,
Actually,
to
I believe
start
you flamed him in that episode for having that take.
to start the year, um, first 3 weeks combined for 8 points. So had two gooses in there, got traded, uh looked he until before the ball comes, he does pass the eye test before the ball's in the air. I will say that. And then yeah, finally had like a breakout game. We'll see if he can stack some together at the end of the year. We'll also see what it looks like when slash if Garrett Wilson comes back. Because that's the main thing here is what is his role when Garrett Wilson's there. I think Tyrod does a good enough job of spreading the ball around to be able to if we can get a few games at the end of this year, to see what his future could hold.
Tyler, I
Right.
also, on the AD Mitchell thing as well, I wanted to go back to our discussion a couple weeks back, more than a couple weeks back, when I told you that I think it's more likely that Justin Fields gets benched so they can evaluate the rest of the roster. And you told me that was ridiculous and that Justin Fields was probably the starter in 2026 for the Jets
Did
and
I
that they
really
had no
say all
players to
that?
evaluate.
Did I really say all that?
You didn't say it was silly, but you said confidently that Justin Fields has a better chance of being their starter next year than he
Was
does of
this
getting benched.
was this before the Jets
This was
acquired?
after that Monday night game where they had some garbage time versus the Dolphins, and his stat line looked good despite him being awful.
No, but did they acquire AD Mitchell and John Mechie yet?
No.
Okay. Then that was part of the equation.
Oh,
Because I mean, before those two, what talent did they really have to evaluate?
Yeah, it
Everyone
was
who
I
had
don't
been
Aaron
know.
there.
Smith, Josh Reynolds, and
Hard to
Allen Lazard.
evaluate it
God,
when Justin Fields
but
is playing.
Did you just say Josh Reynolds had to be
Come on,
evaluated?
Monkas. You're better than that.
No. I'm saying that was the receiver core at the time of
Right. All
yeah.
established guys. Okay, this is way too much Jets talk for week 13.
We waited
Yeah.
all year to have Jets talk.
No, we did.
The next matchup is a Titan and the husk of a Titan in Cam Thorn.
Wow, that's tough.
Rob's put up 141, Thorn 90 points about. Mahomes was very solid, great actually, 30 points. Jefferson, oh man, that's a bad situation in Minnesota. Only 2.4 points. Ah, that's bad. RJ Harvey looked great on Thorn's team, someone who's reluctant to trade. Kind of paid off, I guess, keeping him 21
Got him a big
points.
win, right?
Yeah, maybe not. And then Sam Darnold and Tua Tagovailoa combined for 6.6 points there. Cevan, thoughts from you?
Yeah. Even with competent quarterback play from Thorn, he still takes a loss here. So tough way to go. Starts 5-1, finishes. We still have a game to play, but can only finish 7-7, right? Yeah. The best you can do is 7-7 after starting 5-1. Missing the playoffs guaranteed. It hurts because I was the only one sticking up for you for a while there, and you fell on your face in spite of me. And I no longer have an alliance with you, Cam. I'm officially breaking it.
Wow.
You are dead to me, and I hope you never
Dude,
make the playoffs, uh, and never win a championship. But thank you for joining the league.
why are you kicking him while he's down? What did he do?
Yeah, come on,
That's
man.
that's what you do to down people is you kick them.
I mean, never
What?
forget his first 5 weeks, 128 win, 195 win, 132 loss, 171 win, 181 win. I mean, he was looking like a juggernaut at that point, and maybe we had a new real threat in the league in year one. And yeah, that as we talked about, that quarterback play came back to bite him.
It wouldn't have made a
Fell.
difference, but we would be remiss not to mention that Amon-Ra St. Brown got injured and had 0 points on
Well,
Thanksgiving.
unless he
So
drops a 50-point burger bomb, he's still not winning.
I know I'm not saying it would make a difference, but it's not like he was missing someone you could argue is his best asset.
Yeah, when your best player misses your most important week to date, that's that's tough. You take a zero and you take the zero. Yeah, I mean, Cam, shame on you.
Oh God.
5-1, and then you finish 1-6. Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude,
The other
That's
tough part for
bullshit.
him is that it wasn't like Swerly where he just kind of kept getting screwed. After he won in week 6 with 109 points, he was playing Schrader, and then he went 111, 130, 142 was his only win, and then 109, 110, 151 point loss to me last week, and then 89. So not only did he lose, but he lost pretty uncompetitively in a lot of those weeks as well.
Yeah, so it goes back to a couple weeks ago. He bought, which we all agreed was good moves for him. He upgraded his lineup, and Kittle and Waddle just couldn't push him over the top to even get one win. One win has him at
uh,
least a spot to
Devontae Smith as well.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. So but couldn't even buy himself one win to put him in a spot to compete for that final playoff spot. So yeah, this one was deserved to miss the playoffs.
That,
You don't deserve to be in the conversation.
I
Uh,
disagree with this. This is
and I'm glad you're missing.
I
And
will
I'm glad
stick.
you don't have your first round pick and
He is a good manager. He
you're
made
inside the top
moves
six
to
picks
try
and
and
you
get back in
gifted it.
it. This is
Gifted your
reactionary
top
from you.
six pick. Just like
This,
Deshaun.
I wanna move on here. Last thing on this matchup. Rob scored 141 points, and JSN and Justin Jefferson combined for 6.7 points.
yeah,
Obviously, we all know Justin Jefferson's quarterback proof, but when you have those two receivers combined for that few, and he still drops 141 points, like, whew, I'm glad I don't have to play him in the second round of the playoffs. That's
it's
for sure.
it is stupid what Devontae Adams is doing. I
stupid in
just
a number of ways, actually.
yeah.
I will say one thing about Rob is I know he's on an insane win streak. Hasn't lost since
He started 1-2,
week
I believe.
yeah, hasn't lost since week 3. But over the last
To Cam Thorn, actually.
3 out of the last 4 weeks he scored sub 160, and each week we have seen like he had 154, 112, 141. And each week, depending on matchups, he would have lost to somebody at any point. So the situations are what they are at this point in terms of, like Jettas and whatever. JSN, that was just an anomaly. But uh, he's beatable. You just need to catch him on the right week.
All right. Next one here. Playoff bound Trent scoring 111, and myself putting up one of my worst weeks to date, 67 points.
Six,
Bro-
7.
No,
Okay.
no, we're just not doing that.
Brock Bowers scored 2 touchdowns en route to 24 points. Saquon Barkley is it's weird with Saquon. We've talked about it a little bit, 5.6 points. I didn't really have a stud, but I just acquired Tyler Algier before the deadline, and he scored 13 points while being behind Bijan, so that's got to count for something. And then in true Cam Ward fashion, after he has a career best game, actually, he puts up 5 points, so that's really fun to see for the development. Uh,
Um, can I go here?
oh, sure.
Uh, so Trent now is 8, right? 8 and
Yep.
5. So of the 13 games that he's played, how many of those games do you think he scored 140 points or more?
3.
1.
It is 3. He is 8 and 5,
Bad.
and he scored more than 140 points 3 times. Like he has wins 114, 126, 119, 122, 122, and 111. Like what? This has got to be one of the luckiest fantasy seasons I've ever seen. It's unbelievable how many low scoring wins he's acquired and has basically had two, yeah, and one of those 3 games that he scored over 140, he lost. So he had a 151 and a 168. And other than that, every other win has just been like complete luck that his opponent didn't do anything. So uh I can't say I don't want to be that guy, but I would love to see Trent in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
From my point, really nothing to say about Tyler's team. Scam went back to scamming everyone. Uh, DJ Moore went back to DJ Mooring. Gadsden, big development here. Single digits in the tight end premium his last 3 games. Um,
Uh, do
what?
not. No,
What?
That
this
was a
is bad.
fact.
No,
What?
there's a reason. One game he left injured. The second game,
Played over
uh,
50% of the snaps, but okay.
he left injured. The second
Okay.
game was the week that Justin Herbert barely threw the ball against Jacksonville. And
Okay.
then this week, Justin Herbert got hurt.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did it
Boo.
change? Did it change what I said at all?
no, it's just like
Okay, okay.
if you want to pull a 3 week sample from Gadsden and start
Probably in the game
Oh,
that
trashing.
he
oh. Do you want to pull a three game sample from Gadsden? Week 6, 7, and 8?
I'm just saying,
Tyler,
okay.
this is a losing argument. You should drop it for now.
You can throw week 9 in there too. 4 game
Well, we were
sample,
talking
buddy.
about 3 game samples, though.
Oh, okay.
That's what you said.
I'm just saying that there's so many players on my team you can clown on.
I'm
Gadsden
not
is
clowning. I just
not
said
near the
big
top.
development.
Gadsden is definitely near the top because of the nature in which he was acquired.
Yes.
And he will
Uh,
forever be at the top of that list, Tyler, as will Quentin Johnston.
I will say, shout out
Okay.
QJ, get him back in the end zone. That's awesome. Following up his goose. So
His
that's
second
good.
goose of the year.
Yeah. Anyways, back to my real argument. I am really worried about Trent's team. He only has 2 quarterback options. JJ McCarthy is one, he's dog shit. 2, there's no
It's a tough
reason
one to
he
get
would.
past.
Yeah. 2, Stafford is playing out of his mind. He's been great all year. Jordan Love is more than serviceable QB2. Uh, Good at quarterback. It's really running back now. Barkley, real concerns with just the Eagles offense in general. Um, and then he lost Aaron Jones, who is uh, been doing what he's been doing every year except for last year. If you know, you know. Sorry, but yeah, he's hurt again. Um, Considered day to day, but he's old. The Vikings offense is broken. Doesn't really matter. Uh, Metcalf, worried about. He's been bad all year. Uh,
Should have just kept with this Eagles trio there with Saquon, Goddard, and kept
yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Uh, but yeah, he really has no running backs to. I guess this is more of the Week 14 thing, but the development from this matchup is Rex is in trouble. Um, doesn't have his first either, but he made the playoffs, so he's making that worth it. And yeah, big news from this is Tyler officially locked up the number 2 overall pick. So
The
that's
good news,
awesome.
though, is Trent did trade a draft pick for Calvin Austin. So he's got an option there.
Yep, to start with DK, so that makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
Uh, don't forget that, like preseason, I gave Trent as my dark horse championship winner,
That's
and I
somehow
believe.
worse than Cevan's.
And he's in the playoffs.
No, I'm just
Yet
don't
Thorn
count
might have a better chance of winning the championship than Trent does.
don't count the kid out yet.
I'm not counting him out. I just said it's looking grim. I would love to play Trent in the championship, is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's what everyone's saying. I heard. So
I was speaking specifically to round 2. If he gets to the championship, some sort of dark magic shit was happening. So I don't want any piece of that. Because if I see him in the championship, that means he beat Rob, and I don't want to see that guy at that point.
all right. Next one here, we have Sumner taking home a big dub over Monkas here. Bam Knight scored 17 points somehow. Why is McCaffrey a dud?
He scored like 8 points under his average. I had to put someone. His only other option would have been Rico, but he was like
Uh,
at 10 points pretty much.
Rico was outplayed by Chuba. I would say that's very much more of a dud than
Well, you can talk about him too.
What about
Just keep
Wandale's
going.
7 for 34 stat line?
had too. Very Rashid Rice of him.
Watch it, buddy.
Cevan, I do actually want to congratulate you on finding your Nathan Peterman, whomst is $3 Max Brosmer. He'll never start a game again, but you'll remember the game he did start because you
I
started him
definitely
in
will.
your lineup. That was fun.
Established fantasy asset in Tyrod Taylor.
Like the
Yes.
dream was there. I was definitely in your ear telling you to give him the start. You did. Didn't do much. I don't know. That was the only thing I was really paying attention to with your team this week. So yeah, Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin, they had a great game on Sunday night. Who cares? That's boring. $3 Brosmer made the lineup into week 13 and scored nearly 0 points. Your thoughts?
I'll be brief on this. Sumner had good games all around. Nobody went above and beyond. Nobody killed his team.
This is maybe his most like
The most Sumner game of the year.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Everyone on his team scores 10 to 17 and he puts up 140 and then bang.
Yep.
Winner.
Yeah, my big thing was I'm glad starting Brosmer didn't cost me the matchup. This one's a tough one to lose because it puts me in a must win and get in situation next week. I was really hoping Marv and T both played just to, have a ramp up game to go into next week. McLaurin played way more than expected. It sounded like he was well, he was on a pitch count, but he still got 14 targets. So that was cool. Zach Ertz, 13 targets, went off. Yeah, ETN, Rome, didn't do much. Gibbs didn't help, but Gibbs is Gibbs. So yeah, I lost 114, story of the season, but we got one more chance to go out and sneak in the playoffs.
It was not a good Gibbs giving, if you will.
No, it was not.
Thanksgiving.
I don't have much to add here. I respect the Max Brosmer start because although it went as it did, if he does have a solid game, that's the kind of legacy game that you bring up forever, just like me in the AD
Yeah.
Mitchell game. So I respect the balls to do it. I just don't know if I would have done it when I'm fighting for my playoff life. But yeah, that's all I have. Most Sumner game ever. Cevan to a win in game against the team he's been trashing all year.
Very good. All right, that rounds up the recap. Cevan went 3-3 last week on picks. Myself and Reed went 5-1. That brings me pushing ahead of Cevan to capture that second place spot on the picks leaderboard. We're all within two. Reed up top at 55 and 23. Any thoughts here?
Cevan didn't he picked Schrader last week in a game that I don't think any of us, even himself, probably expected him to win. So Cevan did himself no favors there, but we're headed into the last week now. And it's coming down literally to the wire here within 2 games of each other, 6 games to play. So it should be
Well,
fun.
are we doing playoffs as well or no?
I guess so. Yeah, never mind. Okay, never mind. We have more games to play.
But still, last 6 point
Yeah,
week.
it is pretty incredible that after 78 games that were within 2 games of each other. So
Mhm.
pretty
How did
good.
Yeah.
you do 13 times 6 that fast?
I did, and I did 53 plus 25.
What?
I know you think I'm a calculator, and I'm not
Oh,
that
I
good.
guess I guess you could do that too, couldn't you?
13 times 6.
Well, that would be the right same answer, right?
Yes.
Yes, it would be. And you could also do that as 60 times 10 and plus 6 times 3. 6 times 10 plus 6
Okay.
times 3 is 78.
That's making it too hard.
Yeah, there we go. Welcome to math school.
Yeah, well, before we go move on, it is tough. I did get a lead there in about the middle of the season. I'm only 2 games back. Um,
It's doable.
oh yeah, more than doable. We've had a few lead changes here. I don't think Tyler's ever had the lead though, so
Not true.
In
he's had a perfect week.
maybe in a 3 game sample size, he had the lead.
Oh yeah, 3 game Simpsons. All right, let's go.
Rolling into the last week here, we have our week 14 preview. As I said earlier, some of you, this is your last time you will be featured for the 2025 season. That's okay. Savor it. We'll still discuss your team at least for this week. First matchup here. This is a big one. 11-2 Rob versus Reed. 10-3 here. See where our picks are at. We are split. Monkas is rolling with Rob. Reed and I are picking Reed. Rob. Monkas, why don't you start?
Yeah, this one has Bills Chiefs regular season vibes. No, it doesn't. Let me rephrase that. This one has um it has oh okay, I got it. I got it. It has Rodgers Brady regular season vibes, a potential Super Bowl matchup. This could be our
They've never
championship
played
matchup.
against each other in a Super Bowl, though.
What about like
Okay. Well, you get what I'm saying.
Peyton Brady?
Thank you.
Well, but they didn't play each other in a Super Bowl either.
But they also had actual memorable regular season games against
Okay.
each other. I couldn't tell you one Rodgers Brady game that ever mattered.
Okay,
Or
what about
Eli
Eli?
Brady?
Yeah,
There you
yeah, we'll
go.
go.
Sure, that works.
Anyways, potential championship preview. Um, maybe this does a little bit of foreshadowing, a little bit of, that type of stuff. Anyways, both teams look to be at full strength. I think the Falcons are going to get uh, London back. I hope they get London back. Um, if for the very least, just to get him back acclimated for a game. There's really no point for him to play. Their season's over, but we still need him for fantasy. So that's really the only big.
Um,
Uh, that's
if I
re
if I could interject, the reason I'm picking myself is because I don't think he's going to have Herbert.
Oh, I definitely think he's going to have Herbert.
I
You
don't
think that
think he
Herbert's
will
going to
either.
play? I'm not saying he won't. That would surprise me, I think.
Um, I'm on the side he'll play. It's only his non-throwing hand. Um, yeah, I think he'll play. Either way, Jacoby has been great.
Well,
Um,
yes, but if Herbert doesn't play, that also knocks down Ladd as well. So that was my point, is that it
that's true.
affects both of
That's
them.
true. That makes sense. But good point. Good point. It would be nice for Herbert to play just uh, so you know he's healthy going into the fantasy playoffs. But I guess those are the two big takeaways. I don't really care who wins or anything. Neither of them care who win. They both have their 1 and 2 seed locked up. Can't change no matter what, unless Reed outscores Robert by like
120.
250. Yeah.
It's
So
120. Thank you. He's not
yeah,
that far ahead.
not gonna happen. So yeah, would like to see London back. Would like to see Herbert in there. And yeah, that's all.
Yeah, Rob and I literally don't care who plays because the league vetoed the rule where the 1 seed gets to choose their opponent. So Rob is just as likely to play the best team remaining as I am. So yeah, literally just playing for shits and gigs in this one. Taking myself because I think Herbert will not play.
Yeah, I didn't. That's similar to why I picked you. Is I don't like Rob's QB matchups this week if Mahomes is playing Houston, and if he's starting Brissett against the Rams. Those are both pretty tough matchups in my opinion. So I'll roll with you here, Reed. Jefferson is also, it feels weird to say, but he is kind of a shaky start right now. I know you can't really bench him, but at the same time, you can't necessarily expect him to be
Jacoby
what he's
Myers has played
been
well.
most of his career. That is true.
Cevan's notorious hater.
That is true. Kyle Monanga has played well. Imagine we're in a world where you could like feasibly start Kyle Monanga over Justin Jefferson.
That'd be a sad world.
It's the world we live
Look how they
in.
massacred my boy.
All right.
Shout out the
This
Monanga-inator.
okay. Next one here, 2, 6, and 7, Matt. 6 and 7 teams
Six,
here.
seven.
We have Thorn versus Ian here. We are split. You two are taking Thorn. I'm actually kind of surprised to see we are split here, honestly. So why don't you two start here? You're picking Thorn, and I am picking Ian. No slurp. I'm just picking Ian.
I'm picking Thorn off the vibes. They are also
How about
playing for shits and gigs at this point. Neither of them have their first round pick. Neither of them can make the playoffs. Nothing in this game really affects them that much.
affects me?
It does affect you, but at the same time, uh, Thorn's given me better vibes this year as the upstart team that gave it a run. Ian's the preseason favorite that's disappointed. I'm picking Thorn to end the season better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same reasoning for you, Swan?
No, I'm picking Thorn, so you end up with the number 3 overall pick because I'm also going to be picking the person
Spoiler
who,
alert.
yeah, spoiler alert, I'm also going to be picking Swerly. So Ian's pick will turn into number 3 and Tyler will have 2 and 3. That's the only reason I'm picking Thorn.
That'd be pretty
But like I
wild if
said, Thorn, you're dead to me. So don't, this is a pity win.
it'd be pretty wild if we ended the season with the overwhelming first and second teams in our power rankings to finish in ninth and 10th in the league. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would
A
be
dream
well.
season for Tyler with their first round picks.
Yeah, but I'll still get that one trade brought up every time.
Well, that wasn't the trade where you acquired either of those fucking picks, so that makes sense.
I'm okay, sure, whatever. I picked Ian because looks like Amon-Ra is going to be out this week and Kittle is on bye, so those are two big losses for Thorn there. Yeah, I'll roll with Ian. Not too much else to add other than that. Next one here, we have the team of
I already
destiny.
know who Cevan's picking.
8 and 5 Trent versus the team of what's the opposite of destiny?
Misfortune.
The team of misfortune. Surely 5 and 8. We are split yet again. You guys are taking Swerly, trying to prop him up after bashing him, Cevan. I'll stick with the team of destiny, Trent, and he takes his good vibes into the playoff, week 14 and the playoffs.
I'm pretty sure that I picked Swirly in like roughly like 12 or 14 weeks, including over myself when we
Yes.
played. And that wasn't going to stop now. I don't care what kind of destiny Trent has. He is starting his untouchable asset in Jaden Higgins, but I'm still taking the better team, which I've said about Swerly every week this year, and I'm like 5-7 when I pick him. So
Cevan?
Yeah, for me, there's two reasons. I'm picking Deshaun. One, like I said, it'll all help Tyler if Swerly wins and Ian loses. And number two, Trent's going to be starting Isaiah Pacheco this week, and we all know
Oh my
how
gosh.
bad Isaiah Pacheco is.
Is he gonna?
Um, yes, Aaron Jones is going to miss. It's either it's actually only Pacheco. Pacheco's the only option.
Yeah, I see that
Um,
now.
Savon, I don't know.
on the team.
Tyler has both Swerly and Ian's picks, so whether they get 3-4 or 4-3, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh my gosh, so Tyler could have 2, 3, and 4.
You could.
Yeah. Welcome to the
Um,
draft room, buddy.
Tyler's been here for 10 weeks already. We're focused
Yeah.
on the season that's currently playing.
that's so tough. I can't switch. We're either way. Oh, Tyler's making out like a bandit. Oh, yeah. No. Swirly's got the better team. He's gonna put up 140. Trent's gonna put up 110, and Trent's gonna be feeling ill going into the playoffs.
Sounds like a normal week for Trent. Or sorry, not a normal week for either of them, as Trent's opponent scores points and Swerly's opponent does not score points.
Yeah.
Other way around.
Swerly's
like
opponent always scores points. So in this case, Trent does not.
the
And
reason.
Trent's opponents never score points. And in this case, his opponent would score points.
Yeah. The reason that you're picking Swirly, like that you've picked him most of the year and you think he's the better team, that's like the anti reason I'm picking Trent, where it's like I feel like I've never picked him, yet he keeps winning. So I'm gonna try to reverse the tide here and pick him
Hey,
this week.
I went vibes based on the first two, so I had to use my brain on at least one of them.
Sure, fair enough. Next one here. 0-13 Schrader facing off against 8-5 Sumner. Will Schrader secure a dub so he does not go winless? Let's see where our picks are. We have all picked Sumner. That is not too surprising here. As it stands, like okay, Schrader has like a half empty lineup. His win percentage on sleeper right now is 6%. So
Well, he's missing
that's
both of
with
his quarterbacks this week.
yes.
So
There, he might pull a K. He might not have a quarterback to start.
where would he acquire a quarterback to start?
No, I'm saying he might not have a quarterback to start.
Spencer Rattler, Royal Rumble entrance, and he's starting over Tyler Shuck this week.
What are you talking about? So are you agreeing with me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He only has
That's
one quarterback that's actively playing a football game this week, and it's Spencer Rattler.
Right.
So he's going to make a dramatic entrance with his music on and come out and start the game instead of Tyler Shuck.
Well, that seems doubtful. Anything to add from you guys here?
No.
Absolutely
Again,
nothing.
the only thing is somehow every week Sumner just he has a plethora of wide receivers to start, and somehow he just keeps picking the right ones. Starts not this week specifically, like going into this week, he's got uh 3 running backs, 3 receivers, but he's usually starting 4 running backs, 2 receivers. And every week he just picks the right combination of 2 receivers. So he has a lot of buys this week. Can't start Wandale, can't start Rico, CMC, whatever. But uh, so I guess he really doesn't have much of a choice. But that's just my big thing going into the playoffs is can he keep picking those 2 spots correctly? Shout out Sumner.
Sumner on a 4-game winning streak right now. He was sitting at 4-5, and I was using that against him to try to get Baker, and it worked out for both of us because he's winning and I don't have Baker, so it's a win.
That's a good point. All right. Next one here. Come on. Sandy 8-5, taking on myself 2-11. People forget that I have 2 wins. It happened. I think we're all taking Sandy. We are all taking Sandy. I am gonna guess we don't have too many thoughts on this one either, do we?
And we get Marshawn Lloyd in the lineup.
I mean, probably not.
To the Bears. Come on.
Tyler,
I guess
now that you've secured the second pick, can you actually put in your best lineup with Devon Vele or Chris Rodriguez instead of Gabe Davis?
I actually thought Gabe Davis was a good play last week, but Or not a good play. The
The best
best
play.
of the worst.
We'll see
I
which
thought
we'll see which 3 game sample of Oronde Gadsden we get this week.
okay.
That's true. Another.
Um, what's
Sorry,
on?
you can finish. You can finish.
Yeah, I mean, I've been starting what I think's the best lineup every week. It never super matters, but I'm pretty much it's a lot of nothing. Waiver wire scrubs, a bunch of vers to nup. So on.
Yeah. The other big development. Uh, Bill, aka Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, hasn't scored double digits since week 5. We're in week 13, and he played a career low slash season low, 14 snaps.
Is this a big
Season low in
development?
season low in opportunities with 4. Um, Bill is droppable at this point in
I heard
all
his price tag is still
formats.
at a second round pick.
So $34 off waivers. Price got all the way up to a first round pick, and he hasn't had double digits in months. So, Bill, you're gone, buddy. You're done.
Yeah,
You had
that is
Aura for a month. You were the PFF's number one rusher after 8 carries in your first game, and 10 carries, sorry. And since then, it's just been down Bill.
Nice.
that was just so unneeded. This was not a big development whatsoever.
Especially since
It was,
Cevan was definitely in on Bill if you looked at
He
his redraft
was.
team.
yeah. I will as soon as Hampton gets activated, Bill is gone. It's the only thing I'm waiting for.
You're
But
still rostering him in a redraft league, but you're crushing
did you hear
Tyler
what I
for
just
rostering
said?
him in a dynasty league.
Okay, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Uh, I have no regrets how I've handled the Bill situation. I got him off waivers. I was always going to play with house money. He was getting hyped up more than I've seen any seventh round rookie get hyped up. So,
Oh boy,
it,
here it comes. Listen to the camp hype. That wasn't the only reason I took him.
no, I'm just saying it's like if someone wanted to pay that price, that's fine. That he was going for that price at certain points in the off season.
Mm,
He
mm.
not our
Probably
league,
not
but
a
some
first, but
leagues.
but a second.
That's fine. I was asking high on. I knew that.
That's fair.
You
I
probably
wasn't
asked for a
saying it
first
was.
and then somebody counter with like a 4 and
No,
you're
no,
like,
no.
huh,
I
maybe that's
didn't
a
say it
better offer.
was. I
Will,
didn't say it was like
will you
super
at least
realistic.
will you
What?
admit that uh what the Monungainator is what everybody thought Bill would be?
What did everyone think Bill would be?
The
With a first round
Monungainator.
pick.
Oh my gosh.
We need to move
Will you
on.
admit the Monungainator is elite and a league
Next
winner?
up, we have
Prime time matchup.
primetime matchup. This is it. This is no surprise. We have both 7 and 6 teams fighting for a playoff spot, although one might want it just a little bit more than the other. This is Monkas VK. Let's see where we line up at. We are split. I'm glad we're split on this primetime matchup. It would be unfun if we had a matchup as big as this one and we all picked the same sides. So, Reed, well, do we start with Monkas or do we start with your pick of K, Reed?
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
hosting. You hand it off to someone.
I'm gonna save you for last. Cevan, how about you talk about your team first in week 14, why
Oh
you think
God.
you have the win. Or don't say some like
So you
reverse
can't
jinx
open the
bull.
floor and say talk about your team. That's like the worst thing you can do for
No,
him.
no, no. Why did you pick yourself, Cevan? You don't
Well,
have you don't have
in,
to give us the rundown on each player. I think is that what you're saying, Reed?
Yes, correct.
on a win and get in game to the playoffs, I'm not going to pick the other team. It's a winnable matchup for either team based on our lineups. The big kicker in this one is if Jaden Daniels plays or not. I don't think he will. He's still not practicing. He's still not cleared. So he is only limited to one quarterback. While technically I do have two, but I am not excited about. I'm not too excited about either of them. I got Tyrod and Kirk Cousins. Um, that's just where we're at. It's tough. Drake's carried me all season, and he has his week 14 bye. I am finally at the point where I'll be able to put together a non-waiver lineup. Hoping to get T. Higgins and Kincaid back. Uh, the only reason, the only reason I would start Kincaid over there's two reasons I would start Kincaid over Ertz. One, they do play the Bengals. I think that'll be a high scoring game. Kincaid has been good uh all year except for the games that he's got hurt in, which sad. But the other reason is I wouldn't love to start Ertz and McLaurin together. It worked wonders last week, but I don't know how often you can bank on that. But yeah, on his side, starting Devin Neal, we'll see if Kamara's back. And then Kamani Vidal, I'm hoping Hampton's back, and the early report is Hampton should be activated this week. So while I think they'll still be in a split, I don't think Vidal's going to be getting his 20 touches per game, which will inevitably help me. And he's got Tetero and McMillan out this week as well. So that also helps me, along with Tyro Tracy. So winnable matchup for either side. Cam and I were talking a little bit back and forth. He doesn't want to win, but he's going to try to win. I want to win. I'm going to try to win. That's all.
Yeah, I sided with you. I Rome's a sketchy start. I mean, I think you have several sketchy players this week, to be honest. As a former Terry McLaurin manager, this just reeks of a 4-point game against the Vikings this week. Maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, but overall, I do feel like your team has the better floor, even if there are some scarier starts. I think you have enough guys that put together good weeks to give you the win and the playoff berth here. So, Reed, give us a case against Monkas and why you're picking K.
The case here is very simple. It's 5 letters long, and the word is karma.
Oh,
Not only has Cevan talked shit on this man's team all year, he's now facing a depleted version of said team where he consistently ragged on the depth of this team. He is now facing this team to decide his destiny this season. And for the first time in Cevan's fantasy football life, I think that the luck will not bounce his way. I think that K will put up a week that scores more points than Cevan, and Cevan will play it off like it's not that big of a deal, but he'll be pretty mad on the inside. And I just think he's seen the end of an era, the end of the Monkas is king era, and I think that's karma for all the shit talking he did this year on K's team.
Okay, so you think this week ends my ends my era? You think this is the week that sends me into retirement?
Hibernation, at least.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I went back in the matchups and looked at the two specific instances where one I lost to K because Gibbs got tackled at the half-yard line, and the other one where Trevor Lawrence stumbled and didn't hand it off to ETN that I lost by a point and a half to Rob. And where we would be at had that not happened, I'd be fighting for the second bye if those two things bounce my way. So I do agree.
That seems unlikely.
Uh, wait, do you have 10 wins?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. So that wouldn't happen. But I would be already locked in, whatever. But I do agree the luck this year I've been on the opposite end that I'm used to. Not a good feeling. I don't like that you're basing this off karma because you are very jinxy and I don't like it.
What?
Well,
Honestly, that might be a compliment.
the main thing was when the Lamar picture glitched and then he missed like a nut.
That was so
That
good.
was I didn't like that.
If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, every day would be earned to Donkfest. I don't care about your, well, if this thing went my way and this thing, everybody has games like that. It sucks. But I don't want to hear about, well, if you just scored like 17 more points, I would have been in more games. It's like,
That's true.
shut up, buddy.
Let's see what this game will come down to. It looks like all my players play by 3.
Kimani Vidal.
Yeah,
He
he's
plays
got
Monday night if he stays in his lineup.
yeah, and he's got Stroud Sunday night. So my players will be decided by unless Worthy makes his way in the lineup because somebody else is out. But my team most likely will be decided no later than Sunday night, while I could get Vidal'd into oblivion, and that would be painful.
I also want to note that K's projected 122 is a product of him having Daniels in the lineup, and I also do not think he will play. So he's going to need JMO Masterclass without Amon Ra, which is possible, playing the Cowboys. Uh, Stroud to actually play well against a really good defense, which doesn't seem likely. A Jonathan Taylor hard carry. One of these things has to happen here. He can't just put up the 115 or whatever his team will be projected for.
Yeah.
He needs that dude to step up, and he needs Cevan to have a down week. And you know what? I'm taking that to happen.
Yeah. We both have tone setters bright and early Thursday night. Both get great matchups against Dallas. Jahmyr Gibbs. We've already seen Gibbs explode multiple times this year. He has
Did you just call him Jibs?
Yeah, he definitely said jibs.
my, my bad.
That
He
sounds like a
has
slur somehow.
yes. He has two 35 plus games and a 50 plus. Um, Jameson, like we said, without Amon Ra, he had a career high last week in fantasy points. So we have two absolute tone setters coming on Thursday. At the very minimum, I think I would be okay if they canceled each other out. However, a Gibbs 50 burger just tastes so yummy. So
How many
I would
more of
love
those do
some.
you need to get your wins?
I'll take one more. Just give me a, a nice juicy Gibbs 50 burger and I'll scarf it down on Thursday night.
Oh boy.
Oh. Tyler, thoughts from
What?
you?
On what? This matchup?
Oh, wait, did you already say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said basically that I just think you have a higher
Oh
floor
yeah.
this week against. Okay.
I
So
basically I just can't have I can't have the Devin Neal two touchdown game. I can't afford that. I can't have the Chris Godwin 15 target game. Can't have that. I just need his can't have the three touchdown Christian Watson game against the Bears. I definitely can't have that.
That would hurt for a number of reasons, I think.
That would yeah, I hate him. It's against the Bears and it'd smack me in fantasy. I would that if that happens, that will be the crash out of my lifetime.
And JMO, who you used to not be a fan of, at least.
Yeah, but we're good with Jamin.
okay. Any thoughts from you guys to close us out here heading into week 14?
I'm kind of sad that I have 2 weeks of just fucking around. Not having things to stress about is tough. So, kind of sad. I wish I was playing in some high intensity game this week.
Would you rather be which side would you rather be on? Would you okay, never mind. Obviously you'd rather be
Correct.
have a spot. Tyler, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Would you rather be in the spot you're in now where you're playing for nothing, you already know you're out of the playoffs, or would you rather be in a win and get in game?
The spot I'm in.
Would you rather
Okay.
be good or would you rather be bad? And Tyler chose I'd rather be bad.
Well, it's
I
about the
will
future.
I was before you got on, Reed, Tyler and I were just briefly talking about this, but can you recall a time where there's only been one matchup that has any meaning going into the final week of the season?
I mean, other matchups have meaning, like for seeding, but not
Yes,
for
but
as far as the field. Um, no, but
yeah,
those
and we
those
said
those aren't the matchups you remember after the weekends. You remember the playoffs.
yeah. Well, we said it's we couldn't recall, but it's interesting that in both leagues we're in, there's only one matchup that has any real playoff implications to it
I mean, that's just
being
straight not true about our other
what?
league, at least.
No, that's 100% true.
Not really.
Yeah. What do you mean? It's only you or Keegan.
Yeah, and that's two different games right there.
Oh yeah, but I meant teams.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Then sure, yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree that it feels weird to have the playoff field essentially decided by week 13 and have week 14
Yeah.
be pretty meh.
I can't remember what the standings were last year, but I feel like there was a lot more moving parts at this point.
Well, Tyler saved my season, taking out Swerly and his tie. But yeah, I agree. It'd also be insanely anticlimactic if you and Kay were both playing like Tyler and Schrader, or you were both
Yeah.
playing somebody where like you weren't playing each other. It makes it infinitely more fun that you're playing each other in a pure last spot win an in game.
Yeah. And with both of us, I think, let me double check. I'm in the complete wrong league. Yeah, so with me, um, if I win and Trent loses, I actually overtake Trent. So there's a lot more moving parts if I win.
Yeah,
I would also not want that to happen. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna win. It doesn't matter. Kay, if you're listening to this,
he's
I
not.
hope you made it this far. Okay. Well, I'm sending out my omen. I don't even know what an omen is. I'm sending out something in the universe. Jimmy Gibbler is gonna have a late Thanksgiving feast. It's belated Thanksgiving. He's gonna be giving Kay everything he has. And that's
Yeah.
a lot, trust me.
The 3 and the 4 seeds basically already being locked up as well because of the fact that those two guys are both playing the two tanking teams and they're 140 points scored apart. They're basically locked in as well. So it's literally just what seed is Trent and then which of Kay or Cevan are in.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, that'll do it for us. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week with our playoff preview.